With the focus now on the homicide angle, Disha Salian and Sushant Singh Rajput's death investigations have entered a crucial stage, with evidence of a possible link emerging. Disha was found dead on the 9th of June after falling from a building in Malad, while Sushant was found dead under mysterious circumstances on the 14th of June. In the course of the 96-day investigation, there is mounting evidence to point at homicide. Siddharth Pitani's confession.
क्या हार्ड ड्राइव से डेटा डिलीट हुआ था?
नो कमेंट्स।
क्या लोग आए थे? क्या आपने बताया है कि जो है हार्ड ड्राइव से डेटा डिलीट किया गया?
मैंने जो भी क्वेश्चंस उन्होंने पूछा ना, मैंने उनको सही सही जवाब दे दिया है। सो अभी कल मुझे वापस उन्होंने बुलाया है। सो प्लीज लेट मी गो राइट नाउ।
आप मेरे सवाल का जवाब दो।
मैं
क्या 13 तारीख को लोग आए थे?
जो भी हमारे घर पे आए थे ना, मैंने उनके बता दिया।
कौन आए?
मैंने बताऊंगा आपको।
कौन आए?
नो कमेंट्स प्लीज।
The possible link between June 8th party and the 13th of June event.
She was pushed down, or she was, died. Something happened to her and she died after that.
No, so other people
So
already
my
present.
direct-
Other people.
Ask you directly
So-
why he.
So you believe this was not a suicide? The Disha's was absolutely not a suicide.
Obviously, it is not a suicide. It's not a suicide. All the suicide theories of Disha Salian are wrong. I do not believe it's a suicide.
So when
she
she
was
came,
obviously killed because she was talking too much. She was talking too much. She was calling people on her way, which obviously people on the 8th party came to know.
Or testimonies of primary sources.
He was very much upset and he was very much wanting to just grab hold of someone and, just blurt out and do a press conference, call everyone possible and just, reveal whatever Disha had confided or Disha had communicated. Apparently, Disha had communicated to Sushant not to leave the house. She was constantly telling him that she's in a party.
With evidence piling up, it is important to know the family's version. Senior Supreme Court advocate Vikas Singh, who's fighting for Sushant Singh Rajput's family, is joining us on this episode of Legal Eagle.
Hello and welcome to the Legal Eagle. We have on our show today a very special guest who will throw light on the Sushant Singh Rajput case because he knows the case very, very closely. He's been a part of the case from the very start. He's been a part of the discussions with the family and certain governments from the very start. I want to welcome on the show Senior Advocate of the Supreme Court, former Supreme Court Bar Association Head, Mr. Vikas Singh. Mr. Singh, thank you for being with us and thank you for giving us details about it. For the longest time, we've seen you on several media channels. We've seen you give out the family side. I want to ask you first, Mr. Singh, Riya Chakrabarti comes out and says she was taking drugs, but she says these drugs were being taken for Sushant Singh Rajput, thereby giving an indication that it's Sushant who was on drugs. How would the family and you like to speak on this when Riya makes this allegation?
Well, firstly, this is a self-serving statement by Riya. So, if somebody is an accused, you can't implicate somebody else, and that statement has very little evidentiary value. In this case, as what has come out in the public domain so far and in various media channels, that there was a chat by Riya Chakrabarti where she says that she is procuring drugs to be administered to Sushant without his knowledge, without his consent and surreptitiously. Now, Sushant is no more to confirm whether he was taking it willingly or not. If that WhatsApp chat is correct, where she is asking for supply of drugs to be given to Sushant surreptitiously, then her self-serving statement today to say that I was getting drugs for Sushant really has no meaning. The statement will be only used to the extent that she was procuring drug, but whether she was procuring it to be given to Sushant and that he was taking it willingly can't be understood as being part of the statement. So to the extent that she was procuring drug and to the extent that she was giving it to Sushant is something which is very serious, and to that extent she will definitely face trial. It will also prove the family's case of abetment to suicide, because if she was administering drug to Sushant, whether, even let me assume her case to be true, whether knowingly or unknowingly, then also if her case that Sushant's mental condition was very bad and he was under drugs and he was under treatment by five psychiatrists, did she ever tell any of these psychiatrists that Sushant is under drugs? So if the treatment itself was being done on a completely wrong premise, that Sushant is taking drugs, and that fact, whether it was given to him knowingly or unknowingly, and if that fact was not disclosed to the psychiatrist, then whatever drugs he was taking pursuant to the psychiatrist's prescription will definitely aggravate his condition rather than give him any relief. And fortunately for us, I have seen some videos in the recent past shown in some of these channels where Sushant can be clearly seen to be completely stoned. So that incidentally that video also is being taken by Riya Chakravarti. So this all ultimately proves that she was administering drug to him surreptitiously, which she did not inform to the psychiatrist, and which, if at all the death resulted because of that, then she is directly responsible for the death of Sushant for abetment to suicide. Of course, now the case is going in a different direction. It may not be abetment to suicide at all, but as of now, the case that the family has got registered is abetment to suicide, and this will definitely prove the case of the family.
I think you're absolutely right when you say that from abetment to suicide, it's moving towards homicide. Mr. Singh, I know I'm not going to ask you on the investigation part. As the family's lawyer, I understand that you're going to go with whatever's happening and whatever you know on the case. But yesterday, Siddharth Pithani's statement to the CBI was accessed by us. Pithani has clearly told the CBI that he had spoken to Sushant. Sushant feared for his life after speaking to Disha, and he also thought, "I will be killed." These are the words Pithani has told the CBI. He's also told Riya Chakrabarti left with his laptop, Sushant's laptop and hard drives, and said that she could fix him. What do you think is the actual state of things that could have happened between 8th and 14th, sir?
Well, between 8th and 14th, firstly, because Riya had blocked Sushant and taken away his laptop and all his valuables from his home, she had taken 2 large bags. So definitely Sushant was extremely anxious, and he was extremely sort of nervous, and he was mentioning that nervousness to his sister. The sister tried to calm him down, but and until the 12th she was a little successful, but she had to leave because her daughter was small and her daughter was with another friend, so she had to go away. But definitely, if this fact of Pithani changing sides, because he was the only person who was there when the body was lowered, and he was the only person in the house when whatever happened to Sushant that particular night or next day morning. So if he is changing sides like this so frequently, because if you recall, initially he was telling the family that Riya has spoiled his life and made his life miserable, and he was sort of confiding with the family immediately after the death. When the FIR got registered and his name was not mentioned as one of the accused, he suddenly changed side and he started helping Riya, and he gave her that email which she used in the Supreme Court. It is at that stage that the family really got worried that probably Sushant changing side like this is an indication that all was not well at the household of Sushant Singh Rajput the night he died. And that with the other doubts which the family already had with regard to the height of Sushant Singh Rajput and his being able to hang from that fan, and whether if you would hang from that fan, whether that kind of a mark will come on his neck or not. The other marks on his neck and other injuries to his body, and the fact that the postmortem was done in a very hurried manner, time of death not mentioned, postmortem done at night, which is not permitted at all unless there is a specific court order that this postmortem should be done at night. So all these factors ultimately made the family really rethink, And that is why in the statement, the father's statement to the CBI, he mentioned that he fears that he may have been killed. And I am quite hopeful that between today and tomorrow, the CBI, with the help of the forensic team of the All India Institute of Medical Sciences, will be able to take a final call that this was homicide and not suicide. And once that happens, then it is my sort of hope that investigation, the pace of the investigation will again speed up after this. So let's see, things should come out in the public domain very soon, and the family is quite hopeful that the perpetrators of causing death to Sushant Singh Rajput will be booked very soon, and the matter will be taken to its logical end.
And I also want to, Mr. Singh, like you're saying, this is so crucial. The AIMS team is looking at the report. The Cooper Hospital does a very hurried post-mortem. This is something Dr. Sudhir Gupta has stated could be possibly homicide, which he's examining. Even as the AIMS team is going to be meeting the CBI team today, and we're being told they're going to be having a discussion on all this, we also know how when the night Disha died, Nitesh Rane has come forward and given out a testimony because he spoke to her fiance Rohan Rai. He says there was a party that happened. Something wrong happened with Disha at the party. She reached home and she was allegedly pushed from her building. When that happened, Rohan Rai took 25 minutes to come down, which is very strange given the fact that he was her live-in partner and her fiance. He says, Nitesh Rane says Rohan Rai told him she had made a call to Sushant. Sushant further told Riya, and Riya had told possibly someone at the party. A lot of unconnected things that are coming forward clearly shows, Mr. Singh, that the Disha case is connected directly to Sushant Singh's death.
Well, Rhythm, I'd not like to comment on this because this is completely something which is being investigated, and this is something where my commenting will not be proper, because unless I have some direct information of what exactly happened, and Nitesh Rane, whether what he's saying is correct or not, and the timing of his whatever he's saying, he should have said this much earlier if he knew all this for all this while. So I would not directly comment anything on that. I'd rather wait for the investigating agencies to look into this matter and take a final call.
Coming up on the other side, we're going to be asking Mr. Vikas Singh about how the Maharashtra government has behaved in the case, how they've tried to shelter and help Rhea Chakrabarti, and the larger picture, the drug syndicate and the Bollywood angle. Back after a short break. Mr. Vikas Singh, I also want to ask you about the Maharashtra government. Rhea Chakrabarti keeps running to them, whether it's in the Bandra FIR that she filed, whether it's allegations or whether it's taking protection from the Mumbai police. It's very clear in Maharashtra, it's almost a situation of undeclared emergency.
Well, as far as the family is concerned or this case is concerned, we have right from the beginning having, apprehension of how the whole case has been conducted by the Mumbai police, and it is very unfortunate that right from the beginning the matter was taken in a completely different direction, and it looked like it was an attempt to cover up the whole thing, because the way things are unfolding now after the CBI getting into it and after NCB and the ED getting into it, it looks like there were so many things that the Mumbai police was wanting to hide. Now, the way Rhea is being given, police protection, and the way the police is escorting her, and the way she runs to Bandra police station every now and then and sits there as if it's her own drawing room, used to sit there rather as if it was her own drawing room, leads credence to the, doubts that the family had right from the beginning. Even the FIR that was got registered by her at the Bandra police station was done, without any preliminary inquiry. Whether it was a counter FIR, whether it was an FIR which could be at all registered in view of the law laid down by the Supreme Court, nothing was examined, and straight away whatever allegations she made was converted into an FIR. when clearly as per the law laid down by Supreme Court, this could only have been a 162 statement before the CBI, and it was for the CBI to take a call whether for the same offence Ria is to be charged or if anybody else is to be charged. So all this has really put a lot of question mark in the functioning of Mumbai police, and with the tacit approval of the government of Maharashtra. And I'm quite disappointed by the way in which the police functioning has taken place in this, or also the way in which the Maharashtra government has functioned, because when the police officer from Patna came, he was quarantined, he was not allowed to go out, and when Rajdeep Sardesai goes to interview Ria, he goes on a special aircraft and he is not quarantined and he has direct access to Ria and for the interview. So all these leave a lot of questions and unanswered, and I would be I would not expect any state government to behave like this.
Mr. Singh, we also need to know, we've very clearly seen in the Disha Salian case, she died on 8th, and on 7th she spoke to Rashmi Desai and she said, I'm planning a holiday in October. In the Sushant Singh Rajput case, we've clearly seen, speaking to the family members, that there was no reason that he was depressed or wanting to commit suicide. In both the mysterious deaths, the same set of narratives, both of them were looking forward to their future, and yet this earlier theory by the Mumbai police that both of them had committed suicide.
So, well, as far as Disha Salian is concerned, I'd not like to comment on that, because really speaking, unless something comes out in the investigation, it is not fair for me to link her death with the death of Sushant Singh Rajput. But as far as Sushant is concerned, I can tell you with a lot of authority that the family had never seen Sushant ever, either despondent or depressed, or he was always that bubbly fellow, always very lively, always full of energy, vitality, and with lots of big plans for future. So somebody who's depressed does not have that kind of a outlook to life. So I feel that this depression theory, whatever that happened to Sushant, only happened after Ria came in his life. Whether it was induced by the drugs that she administered in him, or whether it was induced by instilling a sense of fear that there are bad spirits around, or whatever, black magic, etc. I really don't know. That will only come out later in the investigation. But even the last Google searches that Sushant did from his laptop, even those Google searches were nothing to do with either depression or with suicide. It was only to look at, for future, what plans he had for the future and what all he had in his mind. So there is clearly no element of depression in Sushant, and it's only when the family was cut off, firstly in April, and then later on, when the father was not allowed to talk, etc. It is in this period that, in that cut-off period, that the problems of Sushant actually started. And before the family could intervene, and before the Mumbai police refused to intervene when the family wrote a SMS to the DCP Bandra, before anybody could really do something, this unfortunate thing happened. So this is completely a case where family is not ready to accept that Sushant was either depressed or had any mental issues till Ria came in his life.
Absolutely. And as I thank Mr. Vikas Singh for being our legal eagle this week, I also say it's finally time for the Sushant Singh Rajput case truth to be unraveled. Thank you, Mr. Singh, for being with us.
Thank you, Rhythm.